AITAH for kicking my stepdaughter out. My late husband has a daughter, Michaela, from his previous marriage. She was 9 when we got married. Her mom was attempting to alienate her from us. She talked junk about me. Keep in mind, ex knew very little about me. Before anyone asks, I didn't break up the marriage. They divorced when Michaela was 5. I met my husband 2 years later. His ex still wanted him back and kept telling Michaela I was why they weren't getting back together. My husband was the one who left her because she cheated and had no plans. He was in a long court battle to get more time with Michaela. But safe to say, Michaela didn't like me and felt like I was the witch who was keeping her daddy from her mommy. I tried to bond with her and she rejected me time and time again. Together, my husband and I had 3 children. A little after our youngest was born, when Michaela was 13, her mom was arrested and sentenced to 15 years in prison. My husband received sole custody. It was a big adjustment for Michaela. We got her into therapy. She still wanted very little to do with me or her siblings. I went to therapy with her, but eventually the therapist said that the best thing I could do is give Michaela space. Pushing the issue would just push her away. The therapist also told Michaela she didn't have to like me, but she did need to treat me like a human being, and as I always respected her, she needed to respect me. Michaela did not listen. She called me horrible names, said nasty things to her siblings, kept asking her dad to divorce me. It led to a lot of arguments with my husband because I was giving her space, treated her with kindness, and I was her punching bag. He said she had been through a lot, but I truly think it's because she was nice to him. Even her therapist was concerned, but nothing changed. Michaela is now 15. My other 3 children are 4, and 2. My husband passed away 6 months ago. Initially, I took custody of Michaela because her only other family were her maternal grandparents in another state. Michaela even said she wanted to stay with me so she could stay near her friends. I kept her in therapy, but the treatment got worse. I tried to understand. She's lost 2 parents in a short period. She's stuck with the woman she was conditioned to resent and 3 little ones. I've tried everything while balancing my own grief and handling the little ones. It came to a head a couple of weeks ago. Michaela was out. I put the little ones to bed. I ended up having a good cry because I was just so stressed and missing my husband. Michaela came home and asked what was wrong. I told her. She began calling me a whiny drama queen, saying now I know how her mom felt when he wouldn't take her back. She called me a bunch of terrible names and kept following me to taunt me as I walked away. I finally locked myself in my room. After speaking to my own therapist, I realized this isn't good for my mental health. I called her grandparents and said I'd sign custody to them. I asked them to come get her sooner than later. When I told Michaela, she started crying. She begged me to let her stay. I said no. If I'm so awful, if I'm such a witch, she shouldn't be here. She said she didn't mean it. I looked her in the eye and said she's been saying it for 6 years. I'm finally setting her free. She won't have to deal with me or her demon spawn brothers, her words, ever again. She said her grandparents have a lot of rules. I told her that's a shame, but maybe it'll straighten her out. It was the harshest I've ever been with her, but I just couldn't keep up the kindness. They came to get her within a few days. She didn't say goodbye. Her grandparents have maintained contact with me, told me they're getting her a new therapist. She'll attend a new school in the fall. I said I hope she does better. Friends of my husband find this all to be incredibly cruel. She says I should have tried more, that shipping her off won't do any good. They say it isn't what he would have wanted. AITA for sending her away.